What up, folks? Welcome back to ULTRAZILLA Toys, and today I have a review of the Fantasy Jewel FJ-BSW01 Red Lion. Alright, gang, courtesy of tfdirect.com, I am very excited to show you this Red Lion here, obviously, from new company Fantasy Jewel. This is a KO of the Soul of Chogokin GX-71 Voltron. This is just a Red Lion. They're going to be releasing these individually. So if you missed out on the SOC Voltron, now is your chance to start getting these. And because they're being released separately, it's gonna be, less of a cost on your wallet as, at a time. This goes for about $49.99 at TF Direct. Link will be down below, so check that out. Yeah, pretty cool. Really happy that TF Direct has entrusted me to review this. My Voltron reviews, are one of the things I'm known for, so pretty awesome. Check out, and we're going to check out the box, which I haven't done in a while here, because this box art is awesome. I really, really dig that. That's a really nice piece. I really like the way that's drawn. Really cool. On a, it looks like just a picture background of like some volcanic surface. But a very nice piece. It says ages 6+, FJ-BSW01. Nothing on the sides, and you got the Fantasy Jewel logo here on the back. This also came in like a little Fantasy Jewel shipper box within the bigger box, so pretty cool there. It's really, really nice. And now this has a little part here that you could either push out or take out from. And I'll show you what this looks like here before I go ahead and open it up and get it ready for the review proper. This is what it looks like. Here it's there's a nice thin plastic over the entire thing, and then the lion is in here. And then you have his weapons and a very different tail here. So something different to look at. So very cool. That's how it is. I'm going to open this up off camera, and then we'll get into the review proper. Alright, gang, here he is out of his package. And yeah, we're gonna be testing this guy out next to the original and taking a look at how he fares. But right out of the package, it's not bad. There was like something that I noticed right away that was different, but there's quite a few things that are different, which to me makes me kind of happy. But at the same time, I feel like this, would be a good replacement if you do if something happens to your Red Lion or any of the other lions as you go. So this might be a good replacement at like for parts, but as well as it is gonna look a little different on your shelf, which is kind of cool. I always dig. So I'm just gonna give you a full look-see before we really start talking about it. Gather your own thoughts about it. Obviously, I don't have his tail on yet. Let's see if you notice what are the differences quite yet. Quite yet? I mean, looking at it on its own, let's check out some of the paint. I mean, the molding is good. The molding is exact, almost, There's like, it looks pretty decent as a Red Lion there. Legs look pretty cool. The back here is done well. I do like the metallic blue. It's nice. The yellow is very nice. Very, very yellow. Very cool. I dig that. I do have a little paint chip right there. You can see that right there. The mold lines here are a little prominent on both sides, more so on the back side here. It is a KO, so that's going to happen. The head, though, looks pretty good. I like that the eyes have like that, you know, yellow gold, and then it's got like a silver around it. I think that looks cool. The mouth looks pretty good. A little excess, is that excess silver? Yeah, a little excess silver right there on the red from up here. As far as paint goes, that's about it. Now, this chrome is very shiny, very chrome, which actually is different than the original. And we're going to take a look at that in a few, and then we'll really get into like the minutia. But let's see what else this red line comes with. He comes with this signature red lion blade. And if you think this looks different, it does, which is interesting. We're going to look at that momentarily. But the paint looks good. Silver, gold on the red. And you see the blasters in his mouth, which honestly, I have a difficult time with the ones on the original. I think better this way. There you go. Holds it in his mouth. Very good. It looks very nice. So there you go with that. Also comes with this very nice, blaster. I don't know what any of these red lion ones are called, but I really like the metallic paint on this one. It's really cool. Molding is good. Some seam lines, a little open there, but it's not so bad. And that, of course, nicely plugs in, nice and easy. You can plug it in on either side, which, again, if you have the SoC, you might be noticing something different already. And then you have this one here. Looks really good. Same color. Very, very nice metallic color. It's almost like kind of like some sort of greenish, like a greenish silver. That's how that one looks on that side. And again, you could plug it in on either side. Really, really nice. But maybe the nicest thing here, guys, this guy comes with an articulated tail. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ball joints. For a really long tail. And now you could pop out some of these segments and make this shorter if you want, but that's how it looks all along like that. That is really, really, really nice for a very, very nice look. Really well done there. And now, why am I talking about that so much? Because that's in stark contrast of the actual. But before we get to that, let's do the articulation on this guy, just to give it its own look. So, we saw the tail. It has a lot of ball joints for a lot of articulation there. That's pretty cool. Now, I mean, you can move this around if you want. The legs move outward like the original does. He's moved back here on a hinge. A little screw there. Hinge here at the foot. this moves back and forth, turns on both sides there. You know, can go back and forth there. I have it opened up a little more, but if you want to just do it like that, you can. These go out as well, up and down. That moves, feet move, head and neck. Neck rotates, head moves on a hinge in there. The mouth opens, and the gun articulates inside as well. So you got that. And something I didn't show yet. This opens up to reveal this little silver, you know, piece here, a weapon piece. It's kind of really badly done on the inside, unfortunately. That's probably the worst point of paint, I would say, is right here. But we will check that out further against the other one. And that's pretty much its articulation. Again, these open up, so there's a little bit of difference there than the original, very little. But we will look at that right now, because here is the soul of Chogokin. That's what these guys look together, just sitting there. First off, you don't get a sticker, so we'll look at that, which is probably a godsend for me because I had a hard time putting on the stickers. Now, first glaring thing you see is the blues are a bit different, but that's not the glaring thing. The glaring thing is this yellow is very different. I don't know how well it's coming off on the camera, but this is a very different yellow than this one. This is a more deep yellow, like almost orangey, and this is a very vibrant yellow. The blues are a tad different as well. This is a little lighter than this blue here. The biggest glaring thing, though, is this tail. I mean, wow. This tail rocks compared to the tail. I mean, this is a nice tail. It's nicely molded, but that is pretty cool to have such an articulated tail. I guess this is classier because this is all weirdy, ball jointy, but I do like it. It definitely gives it a different look. Unfortunately, and I tried to do this already, I could not get this on here. Maybe if you heat it up a little better, if you heat it up, period, you could. I can't really tell if these two balls are very, very different or not. You know, something must be different because I can't really get it on there. So I don't want to force it. But it would be cool because then you got the option of putting this tail on here, which is nice. We're going to take those tails off for now. Now, the chrome is a bit different too. This is a very, 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 very silver chrome, whereas this, you know, is not. And I never really noticed that, and I don't know, maybe the chrome on mine is yellowing a little bit. I can't recall if that's how it was originally. So, but first time I'm really noticing it because this is so silver, and you know, this is not, which is interesting to me. So that's a bit different, to say the least. Now, a big difference here is this like ankle portion, you know, this like lower leg portion. This on here on the original is actually die cast, this part, and this is not. So that's a big deal. That's a bit different there. So yeah, definitely die cast, definitely not. This is hollowed out, and this is not. So this is not only a plastic, but it's a hollowed out plastic. And the design is actually quite different. If you look at this design here, compared to that, very, very different design actually, overall. And they both look good. I'm not going to say that this looks bad because I think it looks pretty good. They're just different, which is worth noting. Again, I told you about the mold lines on this. You don't really get it much on the original. Definitely not on the bottom. So, but the color here, so this is why I don't think this is yellowed actually, is because this color, which is die cast, and as well as the middle joint here, is that color. But then all the rest is not. So there you go. Answered my own question there, guys. How about that? Looking at the head sculpts, the same obviously. But the difference is the paint in the eyes, which just has that silver lining, which I think is really nice. But I do like the pure gold here of the original. There you go with that. Articulation is mostly the same, except this is smoother coming out. These legs come out smoother than these do. You should be careful too, because I almost feel like these could break, but just the way they felt initially. But now they feel a little more smooth, to tell you the truth. The hinges here, you got gray hinges. Here they just kept it all silver. Although there's a little bit of like red at the bottom here, like it was like cut. So there you go with that. Let's give you a full around here of everything. Now the upper legs are a tad different too. This is done a bit bigger, these holes here, these grooves, than the originals are. I noticed that in a couple other spots too, where it's like not exactly quite the same. Let's see if I see anything else. Oh, right here. This piece right here on the inside thigh. Bigger squares, or rectangles actually I should say, than the original rectangles up here. See that? So very different there. And the other big difference in articulation that I was about to get to was the feet have like little ankle rockers on the original, which is amazing, especially since, you know, this flays out and, you know, that comes out like that. This guy does not have that. So when you take out his legs, he does kind of just, you know, stand to the side. So he does not have any ankle rocker. So that's the big difference there. So the two biggest differences to me are the colors of the chrome, the tail obviously, but the die cast and hollowness of, you know, the die cast here and the plastic and kind of hollowness there, and then the little bit differences here and there. But the big ankle rocker thing is a big deal. That's a big difference. But otherwise, aesthetically, it's pretty much it's the same, you know. It does look pretty good, and obviously the yellows are a bit different. So I mean, you're gonna have a very similar looking Voltron in the end, but you're gonna, you know, you're gonna have enough differences where you know, I could warrant getting both of them without a problem. And especially, I mean, like Voltron collectors, man, we've been buying KOs since the beginning, right? Like that's just part of the collection. The little bit of extra die cast on this one, you know, does make it feel just a tad heavier than this one, but it's not as much as you would think, for sure. So their weapons have some differences as well. And now, see, besides the tail, which I definitely think the tail is better here, the weapons on the Fantasy Jewel are all better, in my opinion. Starting with the blade, you have that just huge bottom, you know, blade here that goes out. And I think that's really awesome. I mean, you know, the mileage may vary on this, and that's totally cool. But I really, really dig this bigger blade. That looks amazing. And it's not quite exactly the same. Obviously, the designs are a little different. The little shields are a bit differently shaped. And this one has a gray little handle. This one has red, and this one has it on both sides, so you could do either or. Whereas this one, you can only put it in from one side. I like the options they're giving you on this Fantasy Jewel set. I think that's pretty cool. The silver is a little different as well. It's not exactly the same, especially the bigger blade here. It's just I don't know how well that translates here, but it's just a tad different. The quality, not the quality, the texture of it is like slightly off. So let's take a look at this stuff. And now, the Fantasy Jewel stuff to me is better. These are just done in like gray. And I just like the color. And I said that before, I really like the color of these Fantasy Jewel ones. It's just a very nice metallic color, and this is just a gray. You can see here, this is a little different. These have like really like much deeper holes here, but I kind of like this because you kind of see the detail in it, which is cool. I really like the option of being able to put it on either side, and as you can see, the molding on the bottom is very different. The whole entire thing is almost completely different. These have these little things here, which I like. This is just a different design. It's just very smooth. It's totally fine. It's just different. This, you have the big mold line there. You can't do anything about that. Got the mold line up there. Not so much. It's not so much a factor here. But yeah, and this is a little bit of a bigger back than this is. So different enough. And you got differences in this one as well. Again, the color, I just love this color. This color wins to me. The little piece on the bottom is a bit different. Yeah, it's just kind of molded differently. You know? This is a big difference. This looks really nice here, but I do like, again, that you have the option of putting it on either side of him. So I'll give this up for options there. But this is very plain. This has a lot more detail throughout. Check that out. So for real, they really did a great job on these weapons, and they outshone the originals by, in my estimation, by a lot. Like, I just dig these so much more. And you can put them on, for sure, very nicely on your original. So this one's a little tight on this side, but there you go. That's how he looks with those weapons, which is cool. If you want to see how the original looks with the KO blade. It's not really a KO blade if it's different, right? Actually, it doesn't go in. You could hold it here, but it doesn't actually. It's not. Nope, it goes in. It's in there. That's pretty cool. So the other thing I want to look at is how this looks up here. Let's open that up. And I didn't like this one too much, but let's see how different they are. Actually, pretty different. It's a different sculpt altogether, almost, which is very interesting. This is nicer. It's painted better. So again, that red is just kind of a shame there, but the silver bits, the actual weapon, they both look good and they are different. How about that? So that's pretty interesting. I like that there's enough difference here that, let's look at the teeth. I feel like these teeth are bigger, aren't they? Yeah, and even this part is bigger than there. Let's... Huh. What do we got here, guys? I mean, it's obvious that it's like, it's taking the same thing, but they are making things a bit different for a bit of a different Voltron. Wait a second, guys. Wait a second. The faces are actually different. Here's the original. Like, see how the you know, the silver comes down. Here's the new one. It's a different shape. You know, when you initially look at it, you don't... It definitely has, like, all the design elements, but there's enough difference here where someone that got all of this could get this and get something different, because it's not all the same. Look, this has a little groove there. This does not. It's there, but it's actually at a different angle, which is interesting. And I do like that this is bigger than this. I mean, I like them both. But as you can see, yeah, his mouth is different. Wow. That is actually very interesting. And you can see his nose is like bigger, like wider. Huh. How about that, guys? We got more differences here than I initially expected. Like, I like the fat line here too, as opposed to the skinny line. So, that's pretty cool. I really like that, because this is getting better and better to me, because I'm really excited about building this guy as its own separate piece. And it's gonna look a little different than the actual SoC. That, to me, makes this very cool. But we're gonna bring in the big guy, and we're gonna see how this guy looks on him next. Hold the phone. I actually forgot something. In a little baggie with this set came this cool thing, which is actually all put together now. These all kind of tab apart. Oh, and they fly apart. There's little pieces and bigger pieces, and you can just make a nice little display base here, which I think is what it is. I can't recall what from the show this would be. Other than that, you could just do that, and that's really nice. I really dig that. So I'm not exactly sure. I can't recall it, but it's a nice little add-on, and you don't need to really use it for Voltron or anything. You can use it for whatever you want, and you can make different shapes out of it. Place it however you'd like. But it does look really cool on there, and I almost forgot about it. So there you go. Very nice little add-on, you know, a little more bang for your buck. All right, gang, here he is. Here is GX-71 Voltron. Here is the new piece. I'm gonna put it in for you. Show you how it looks. So you know how to transform this. Just do it real quick. Get the feet in. As you can see, it goes in very nice and smoothly. So that's a good thing. Ooh, that was crunchy. Eee. Yeah, see what I was saying before? This is out already. I'll get this down. I'm not doing with the tail because that tail's too long, and I would suggest, if you're gonna get these for like a replacement part or something, I definitely would take that out. So, and there you go. I'm not gonna lock it. Because, yeah, I don't want to go there. I would do that at your own risk. It is a KO on top of a pretty pricey piece. And there you go. That's what he looks like on there. It looks good. It looks perfect. As you can see, like, the colors are a bit different. Let's bring him closer. I don't know if how much you can tell, but it is different. It does give it a little bit of a different look, and there's what that yellow appears like. Oop, let me fix his foot here. But it's a totally fine stand-in. You know, I mean, guys, if you own GX-71, it's not bad to get these as little replacement parts, for sure. And if you don't own GX-71, this is your opportunity to get a close facsimile. And it'll look good, as you can see. And it'll look just a tad different. So I think that's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with the rest of the Lions now. So yeah, that's it, guys. That's really my review of this. I do dig it. The weapons are better than the original. It's got some differences. It doesn't have as much die-cast, but you know, that's doable because overall it's a nice package, and you're getting this nice display base. So I'm think, you know, for the amount of stuff you're getting and the improvements made, minus, you know, some of the lesser quality stuff, but not that much lesser, for real. It's worthwhile. It's a cool piece for Voltron fans all around, I think. Yeah. I mean, as long as you're, you know, not a KO hater, and if you are, I can't do anything about that. It's not for you at all. You know, like, look, I don't think this is going to devalue your thing, you know. And again, if you're getting it for the value, hey, I don't know what to tell you, you know. I mean, I'm not a value guy, so you're barking up the wrong tree here, guys. I get my toys because I love them, you know, not for resale. So I'm not going to, you know, I don't fault you if you do. That's up to you, but I'm just saying. If you want to see how the articulation is here, it's pretty much, you know, all the same. You don't have clicky joints. There you go. I'm glad I did that before I finished. It's a very soft ratchet. You do feel it. But that's a big difference. I forgot about that big, nice clicky joint there. So, yeah, there you go. That's a bit different. And you know what? Is that different? Is that? Oh, no, that's there. How about the blazing sword? The blazing sword. How does it fit in his hand? That's a big thing. I was just trying to end this video because this is way too long for something this small. But, you know, I think you guys that own GX-71 or wanted to get it and missed out would really like to know, like, all of this, how it compares. Because it's not just for this one, it's really, you know, how will all of it compare? Now, the sword really doesn't, like, it'll hold it, but it's not sticking in that hole too well. So there's that. That's something to consider right there. But, you know, for all we know, we might get, you know, a sword for this one separately. So who knows? I mean, it could happen. I mean, if we're getting everything else, right? But yeah, it fits on the original totally well. And yeah, it does what it needs to do. That ratchet. Almost forgot to check that out. And it's not loose or anything, and it's good. So there you go. Now we're good. Here's a turnaround on how it looks. Oops. I just hit this. And knocked something over. There's a card. But yeah, this is open, so it's pretty good. Alright guys, that's it. That's all I got for this review. That's a lot. That's a lot for this little thing. But definitely worthwhile getting. I really like it. And it's something a little different. You know, not completely different, but different enough where I think you'll enjoy it. All right, so if you do like this, check it out at tfdirect.com. The link is down below. And I really, once again, want to thank TF Direct for sending this along. And I hope you dug this review. And until next time, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Peace out, peeps.